Mr. McDonald, I have an issue with your quid pro quo. I'd like to speak with your boss. Oh, I'm sorry.
Have a Big Mac, please. Extra cheese.
I wonder if I send my letter. Maybe I could. I don't want McDonald's products. I just got to.
They'll give you
I
free
digress.
ones.
So, hi, Mike. Welcome back.
Hi,
Good
Bill.
to see you, man. And thank you again for the history of the pull cart. I'm always intrigued by it, and there's always interesting facts. And I'm sure there's a lot of people listening that wonder what the history of these things. Right? It's very.
I'm just amazed that I can find stuff, that we can find stuff.
It's a modern age, man.
I've got people that are texting me. They're suggesting all these things.
So that's where I'm getting them from too, man. So it's kind of
it's pretty cool, actually.
We find things we will please.
Some things I can't
find
even-
them entertaining,
Yeah.
and I know watching you do it is really cool. So and I know you work hard on those.
Unfortunately, some of those things we cannot talk about the history of some things that are being suggested.
Well, yeah,
They're just,
kind of keep them on theme if you can, but
it's funny, but it won't work. Yeah.
So we have a few more minutes here before we take our break, and so we were wondering what we can do in these minutes. The record section, if it's okay with you, could come in the second hour. But do you have a few minutes to talk about what we're thankful for?
Yes, definitely.
Because I just came to mind, and and the reason I bring it up is because I was going through my little bullets, putting things down. It was kind of awesome to reminisce and truly be grateful for so many things. I don't think about them daily. And with Thanksgiving coming up, I'm thinking, okay, what could I, in golf world, there's so many things in my personal life that I'm thankful for, and I touch on a couple. But I started going through these lists, and I'm thinking, wow, this is pretty cool. And it made me feel good, Mike. I was feeling I had this glow going on.
Yeah.
Man, a little, so anyways, do you want me to start?
Is this going to be like a pro-con thing?
What do you mean?
You're the pro and I've got the cons? No? Oh.
I don't want you to be wah wah Mikey Downer. Come on, but
I find it funny that way.
Well, if you want to
It's all right.
diss all my thankful stuff.
No, I'm not dissing your stuff. No, that's not what I meant. Never mind. Go ahead. I want to hear what you're thankful for.
All right. I have no idea what Mike's going to do, but I'm going to tell you honestly from my heart what I'm thankful for, and it won't take long. All right, so this is golf related because this is, and for the most part, I guess my father. My father introduced me to golf as a little bitty kid. I would follow him around, so I kind of knew the game from him. I'm thankful that he was a member of a private club at the time, so I can learn to play from a very young age. So he would drop me off at the club, and I would just hang out. So I was very grateful that I could learn. I learned by watching and just doing, which is probably the best way I ever learned. I'm thankful for golf courses. They're just everywhere I go. I travel everywhere. The golf courses are beautiful. Up at your place, so not too long ago, it's gorgeous up there. So I'm really thankful that there are golf courses because they're just pretty, whether you're in the desert or on the beach.
That's very true.
Jim Walker was a PGA pro, first offering my very first job when I was 17. Just turned 18. I'm thankful for that because it got me to decide I'm going to be in the golf business. And I looked up to him, and he offered me a job. And as 42 years later, it's still happening.
Wow.
Copeland Superstore in San Luis Obispo when he first opened up was when I first came to Central Coast to tend for my father when he was ill. I needed a job. I was working down in Altadena and came up here to take a break from that but ended up staying, and they offered me a job in their little superstore to be one of they had 4 pros on staff, and they had one. My job was running the simulator, which is the first time I've ever saw a simulator. So it was pretty kind of cool running this big giant video game. Remember Copeland?
That thing was awesome.
And I did the club repair. Gary Setting, PGA pro and owner of the Sea Pines Golf Resort, gave me my first job at a golf course on the Central Coast. And then comes Mr. Mike Brabennick and Avila Beach Golf Course back in 1996 to 97. When Tom Stankowski was a teaching pro there, left to go become a tour player, the position came open, and Mike himself, right over there, was responsible for hiring me as a new teaching pro. That was a lot of years ago, and I'm so grateful because it was stabilizing and it allowed me to I got married shortly after that because I had some stableness. I am grateful to you because you're my best friend and cohort. We've been in Golf Talk Radio, and we've known each other for 20 plus years, and you're a brother to me. And so I'm grateful for your humor and your spontaneousness and just who you are. Black Lake, I've been there 15 years plus years, and still wear my hat there. I'm grateful for them. The first tee and the first tee of Central Coast and the first tee changed my life. Again, I mentioned this is my 15th year. I'm going on 16. It absolutely changed my life because it brought my focus to positive youth development. So 95% 5% of my professional job is working with kids or in some capacity of changing or impacting lives positively with youth development. So I've always wanted to work with kids. Even when I was a kid, I thought I'd be a teacher. I guess I am, but in the golf area. The PGA of America has offered me a lot of opportunities, so I'm glad that I studied hard and worked hard to become a PGA member a lot of years ago. And I'm grateful to them and the opportunity to travel and play in the world's best courses. I am lucky. I get to travel a lot in my business, and I get to go to these, I don't play as much as I used to, but I still travel, love it. And my wife has always encouraged me to follow my heart, and no matter what I was doing, she had my back 100%. So I'm really grateful that she's never even questioned my choices and was always supportive. And we've been married 24 years. So in the golf industry, I'm really grateful. I'm thankful. It's been it's been since 1978 when I turned pro to now. What's that? 42 years, 41 years, a long time. So is that
Wow,
right? 30,
that's
30, 41?
That's amazing.
78.
Man. That's
It's
awesome.
a lot. So as I was going through this list, I had some of these. I had a few of these written down from a past show, but I just kept adding, thinking, man, things are pretty good. So it's funny how things fall into place. Meeting you in 1995 when you and I first met. I don't know if you remember the day I met you. I do. I remember the day we met. We played like 105 holes together.
Yeah.
In one day.
I do remember that.
And I didn't know
Never
who you
forget
were,
it. I
so
did that once. I never did it again.
That's the last time I've done it too. But I laughed. And remember Tom whipped the flag over my head during a putt or something once. It scared the hell out. But we played. So Tom was on his way out, and I was coming in, and we got to meet each other and play. And
who was it that was playing with you? Was it? I want to say it's not right. This is the wrong name. Dino? Who was? No,
it wasn't Lonnie. Was
no. With Copeland's, he played with us. He was your partner. Blonde kind of hair,
yeah.
short crop.
Yeah.
It wasn't Townley. It was.
No, I know exactly what you're thinking of, and I'll come over.
I can't think of his name now.
He was Dino's. Starts with a G. It starts with the G.
Yeah.
Josie will know. But he was kind of the town attendant. It was you and me and Tom and this guy.
Yeah.
God, I'll think of it in a minute. But
he was a shrewd businessman.
Yeah,
he was a quick talker.
Yeah, he's still kind of. He's not young anymore, but he. I almost had it. But
sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off.
No, that's cool. Yeah. So anyway, but I just remember that's the day we met, and then when you called me in if I was interested in the Avila position, I thought I was going in for an interview for it, and when I got in there, you and I think Rob was in there, or somebody's in there, and they actually offered me the job. You didn't, anybody was in there, so I left literally in tears, calling my wife, going, "You're not gonna believe what happened," because I think you know the story. Back years ago in the mid '80s, I would visit this area. I lived in Massachusetts, and that's when I first met Tim Townley. Not Tim Townley, Tim Lane, and Steve Delmore, and I played at Avila, first time ever. And I just, I'm like, wow, this place is awesome, dude. It's right on the beach. I told Tim, someday I'm going to be the pro here.
Yeah.
I was a pro back east. I said, someday I'm going to be a pro here. And of course, I just said that, right? And I became it.
That's cool.
And it was like circle. But it was it's unbelievable I said that because he brought it up. Do you realize back 10, 15, 20 years that you mentioned you were going to be the pro here?
That is awesome. I did not know that.
Yeah, I said it, right? Because I was just, if you've been, we were there part of your life. That place is gorgeous, right? Standing up there going, okay, this is where if I'm going to go somewhere, I was in Massachusetts working 8 months a year because of the weather and stuff, and thought this place is pretty awesome. And sure enough, so.
That's amazing, man. That's a
Bruno.
Bruno was his name.
You were close. Dino Bruno.
Did I call him Dino?
Yeah, you were close.
I knew it was. Yeah. I knew it was something like that.
But anyways, thank you. I'm grateful every time we come up here and sit across from each other, and it's like a box of chocolates, man, because it's just different every time. Yeah. And so thank you, buddy. So that's truly what I am thankful for in this golf business, and I'm very grateful. I'm getting towards my twilight of my golf world, and so I guess maybe that's why it means more to me now.
Yes.
So, anyways, I just thought I would mention that.
That's very cool. It's very kind of you, man.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool. Well, just like you, I did, I was joking around earlier. I'm very thankful for my family. I realized over the years, like you growing up, a lot of family challenges. The family, my family kind of broke apart a little bit, but we still have stayed strong, all of us. And even like I mentioned in the morning BM with my sister having cancer, I'm so thankful. Just you start realizing, looking back on your family times together, even though everybody's in different places in different states, and it's just family and friends are everything. I mean, that's
right.
when it comes down to me. So I'm very thankful for family, very thankful for health. That is, as like you were teasing me, but at the same time, it's very true. As you get older, the things that start happening and start changing, and stuff that falls off you, like just fell off you right now. It happens. It happens very quickly, and you look back and you go, "Wow, those were really amazing times." And there's still amazing times now, and there's still amazing times in the future. So I look forward to times with my family and with you, my best friend, and coming and doing the radio show, and even on mornings when I get up and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can make it, going down to the show and driving, whatever, it's like whatever it is, it's not a big deal. But then when I get here, it's it's such great therapy, the radio show, and I'm so thankful for that. And I just can't believe we've been doing it for 20 years. It just blows my mind.
I ran into some guy that was visiting, and he used to live back here about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And said, "Remember the radio show you guys used to do?"
Yeah.
That's what he said. He said, "Do you remember that radio show?" I said, "I remember it really well."
Yeah.
I said, "We still do it." No way.
So we're doing great marketing and advertising.
He moved away, man. He moved away. I think he moved to, where is he from? He's up in Seattle or Portland or something. Yeah. But he remembers us from 18 years ago.
That's so cool. And I think back on all the things that we've experienced because of this show, and because our families actually understand why we do this show, and they let us do this show. I think about how many times different, there's life events and things going on, but we still will do the show. We'll do it, it's 2 hours of the day. And it's just, and now 20 years later, like when I go home, and like you said, I didn't used to listen to the show, but now with this history thing we've been doing, I mean, I'm having a weekly crack up with my sister or with my daughter and my son and my wife. I mean, they're in tears. And it's like, when I think about how much joy family and friends and this show brings me, it's just,
I think you said it the best, because I don't know if others think those segments or what we do is funny. I have no idea. And it's to the point now that we're doing it. I do it for me and you. We've done it for so long. We're not a stat show, and golf is basically honestly is not the most, intriguing topic.
Right.
Tour golf anyway. There's always stories and the Tiger stories, but there's always. But if you talked about stats, we talked about the tour, and we talked about this. It's just not fun. So to keep it fun so I enjoy coming here. It's like therapy as well. I don't know if you mentioned that word, but it kind of is, because I get to see my buddy. We moved to separate parts of the area,
right? So
we get to come and meet. So I don't know if people realize that. And so some people must still be listening. I get a lot of comments, but I do it because I enjoy the company, and it's just like it was a job, but now it's still work, but it's enjoyable.
That's very,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, we're in the middle of the night. We don't know what we're doing yet. So
well, that's the beauty of it.
I guess that's what I'm saying. Go on. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. The last thing I'm going to say, because we got about 30 seconds here. Yeah. The last thing I'm going to say, that all the people that I've met in the golf industry and that helped, like you said, I just happened to be in the right places at the right time. And that starts with like David Brown and Pat Larkin at Shoreline Golf Links when I was 15, when I got my first job. Here I am 50, and 35 years later, I'm still doing golf. That goes with Roger Wincup, the pro, hired me at Avila. Scott Sikich, the pro, took over for Roger at Avila, who shipped me into shape, so to speak.
Still in the golf business.
And he's awesome. Gary Setting was my mentor when I was going through PGA school, and Gary was awesome, and I thought that was awesome what you said about Gary as well. Mike Raubitzer for giving me the opportunity now I've had in the last 8 years, which has just been an education and a half. I mean, I've learned so much just when you think you can't learn anything else. And I have to thank Tom Stankowski for kind of trying to bridge me through when I first got the job into playing, and then last but not least, you, because I've mentored under you for so long with learning the game and playing the game and teaching the game. And like I said from the beginning, man, you're my best friend. and all the things that we've experienced together in golf. I wouldn't trade it for the world, man.
Me
It's
either,
just
bud.
unbelievable. So
Well, thank you.
yeah.
That's cool.
So with that being said, we got to
Mutual.
take our last break here, and we're going to go into the second hour. So stay with us. It's Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. We'll be right back.